So, I had to make a tough choice tonight. Ran into a few delays with bridges on the intercoastal. I think that technically an experienced crew right now could make the run to Fort Myers and get there before our hard deadlines come. We're not an experienced crew. So as it sits here right now, as we begin our second night of sailing, we need to get 50 miles to make that even possible. We need to get those 50 miles before daybreak. And in doing so, we have to run out back into the ocean in about 10 miles. So that would mean, 80%, 40 miles, 6 or 7 hours of all of this sailing, night sailing, would take place in the ocean. On top of that, where we're going towards are the Florida Keys. And many people know Key West, Key Largo, Marathon, some of the bigger keys. But the Florida Keys are actually a whole group of hundreds of islands. And mostly uninhabitable. But there's a lot of big chunks of rock, land, earth out there. And we have charts and whatnot, but if you add the waves and other possible vessels out there, and now you're talking about a whole bunch of potential obstacles, it might be a little bit more than what we're ready for at this point. We have to be realistic. Today was kind of an adventure. We were forced to take a not heavily traveled outlet from the intercoastal into the ocean in order to go around a bridge that had stopped operating. There was nothing else that could be done. I made a bad choice about doing this during a lower tide scenario, and we just had bad luck out there, and so we bounced off the bottom a bunch. It was pretty exciting and kind of eye-opening. And my takeaway from this is there's adventure and then there's silly decisions, and there's a fine line between the two. So tonight I told the guys that I don't think this is a good idea. It leaves us with an awkward amount of time. We're basically at our finish line with an extra day and a half to spare. And probably feel like there's more to be done. George doesn't want to give up necessarily. He's got all sorts of personal life obstacles that may keep him from being able to come back and work the boat back towards Fort Myers for a good month, 2 months, whatever. And we're not going to move it without him. So he very reluctant to make the hard decision. That kind of makes me feel more like it's the right decision, because it seemingly was becoming more forced and forced. And at the end of this long adventure, and this is going to be a very long adventure, I'd like to believe that we're all going to come back. Everybody who set foot on this boat will come back happy and safe and alive and all that jazz. So tonight, these guys upstairs right now are starting the 7 o'clock shift. Or started it probably about a half hour ago. And that's when I did my final due diligence on this. They're going to find us a place to drop anchor near Port Everglades. And we'll call it the night. And then first daylight shift tomorrow, we'll all get up and start calling local marinas and find some place that has temporary parking. They call it transient parking, so that we can rent a place for month to month for 1, 2, 3, whatever amount of time it takes for George and I to both have enough time, grab Naftali or Danny or a few other people out there that have expressed interest in joining us, and we'll reconvene and we'll finish it off, and maybe we'll do the cut through and marathon that is supposed to be challenging. Maybe we'll just go all the way around Key West. That is most certainly fun. But this will give us more options, more time to research what we're going to do and how to do it, and set ourselves up for success. So I'll probably have some videos for tomorrow. We're going to fix some stuff. We're going to toss stuff out. We're not going to waste the day, that's for sure. And then we will pack it all up and rent a one-way car rental back to Fort Myers. And we'll call it the day. All right. Good night to y'all.